I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a part to my Super Metroid playthrough, and I apologize for that, but it's mainly the fact that I've been lacking, motivation and stuff in IRL kinda kept getting in the way again, and I was trying to hopefully get some progress on a video project of mine, but unfortunately, I was in a bit of a very productive block, and I don't know if I'll be able to get that video finished, so I do 100% apologize to those who have been looking forward to that video. Again, it's just things have just been getting in the way, motivation has been, down for me, and I really still want to try and be a little more productive on my video related stuff. But like I keep saying in my update videos, don't go expecting any form of consistency from me. I am trying my best here, so I apologize. We're gonna get back into some Super Metroid today, at least for today's video. Now, we couldn't normally go this way before due to the fact that we didn't have the grappling beam at the time. So, since we now have it, we can actually get across here, and we can go get this missile expansion. Now then, also at the time of this recording, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is at least 1 week away now. But by the time this video is uploaded, there's probably like maybe a few days left at least, depending on if I'm motivated to edit this video together, but we'll see. But yeah, we're off to our next destination, which is the wrecked ship. As you can see here, it's seen better days. Power's offline and bugs are everywhere. Now then, before we proceed any further... Whoa!
Hello there!
Where'd you come from? Anyway, I sometimes like to head through here to get a missile expansion that's available. And like so. Anyway, there's gonna be another boss we'll be taking on, and I'm pretty sure you know who it is if you played this game, or have seen it in action. And here's another boss door. I hope you're ready for this one. Got these fireballs spinning around, and... here is Phantom, one of the 4 major bosses we need to defeat to gain access to the final area. And the only way to damage it is by damaging it when its eyes open. I've had a bit of trouble with this boss as a kid, because I wasn't fast enough and I kept getting hit by the fireballs. Phantom's weakness is his eye, and you need to hit it the moment it's open. Like so. However, I am hitting it with just the charge beam, but if you hit it with a super missile, it will do another attack, which I will demonstrate the moment he opens his eye. Oh, dang it, it wasn't fast. Here we go. It will do a lot of damage to Phantom, but it will do this. So the best way to avoid it, just jump in a corner or use the pseudo screw attack. But yeah, it will do this little fireball wave attack. So it's best not to use a super missile if you don't have very many energy tanks. But yeah, if you shoot at the fireballs, they can drop pickups if you're running low. But it shouldn't be too hard if you know what you're doing. Your best chance of defeating it quick is using the charge beam. Don't use the super missiles because, as I said before, it will do that fireball wave attack. And you gotta avoid it as few times for it to get back into its usual pattern. So just be careful with how it attacks. Now, it's gonna take a bit for me to beat this thing quick. Oh, come on. There we go. I think one more good hit should do the trick, because the ghost has gotten so red. Okay.
Missed me!
Dang it, missed. Just need to wait for it to show up again. Gotcha! I knew that was going to be the last hit, but that should do it. Phantom is defeated. So we've only got 2 more major bosses to go before we can finally gain access to Torian. Alright, let's go pick up all these pickups. Now there is a new suit upgrade that we can get here now that we defeated Phantom, but it's going to take a bit just to get to it. So, gonna have to do a bit of backtracking here.
Get it off me!
Get off of me, you! But yeah, since the power's now back on, those enemies are pretty much freed. I cannot remember the life of me what their names are. I'll put them on screen during the editing process. But yeah, we go through here now, we can get another super missile pack. Now then, I'm not gonna be going through that door right away, because if I do, then those doors will be locked back up. If I ever decide to come through here again, but I highly doubt it. And plus, I gotta get a missile expansion that's through this door. But yeah, a little tip is that if you open up all the doors after you unlock them after dealing with a bunch of enemies, once you go through that room again, you can be able to get through the doors without having to destroy them again. It's pretty simple. Really like how they did that so that it won't be too much of a hassle. Alright, there's our missile pack. Now then, let us proceed on to the next part to get our suit upgrade. Still a hassle to fight our way through these enemies. Also, just watch out for any little electrical sparks that drop down from the ceiling, from those casings. Alright, so before we do actually go forward with getting the next suit, there is a missile expansion we can get, but we gotta go through this long ride, and it's kind of boring just to sit through and, you know, wait. Okay, here it is. Just open this up, and boom, missile pack. Don't have to go into Morph Ball to get it, though, so yeah, as long as your Samus's head is actually in contact with it, you should be able to get it. There is another couple of missile packs we can get, if I recall correctly. This one you can get up here. There is another one, but it's far down below, but we'll get that as soon as we get our next suit. Yeah, those are super missile blocks, obviously, and they will regenerate real quickly. At least, that one does. Now, I've always questioned, what is the point of this enemy right here? Like, he just, like, sits up there. He never shows up when you're going through this top room, but yet he shows up right here. I'm just so confused. Like, he's mocking me in a way. Regardless, let's just not waste any more time. Alright, now we just gotta use the grapple beam to get across. Now here is a Torizo statue, but this one's much different than the ones we found before, because if you go into Morph Ball form, while standing on its hand, as you can see right here, it activates and it walks forward. And as you can see, he brings us to this lower area. Now before we go in that room, I want to take care of something. Yeah, these robots are going to be in the way. No idea what they're called. I'll have to put it in the editing portion, just so that you know what they are. But here's another missile pack, but that's not the only thing we're getting here. Okay, here we go. Shine Spark up. We head through here. Oh, that was close. And here's another reserve tank. So that's 2 we've collected. Now I'm trying to remember how many were there again. I'll have to put it during the editing process. I'm saying that a lot lately. We may have to make some sort of counter for it. And here we are, our next suit upgrade, the Gravity Suit. Now, obviously, this is the very first appearance of the Gravity Suit in the series. Here, it's more of a purplish pink kind of suit, compared to some of the other games where it takes more of a darker purple kind of color. Or blue, depending on how you see it. This is pretty much the first ever appearance of Samus's Gravity Suit. With this, we can move freely within the water. So there's no issue about slow movement. Here's another missile expansion here. Now then, before we go into the next area, there's a few things I want to do first.
Later.
Alright, there was something I got to get over here, which I could have gotten earlier, but I completely forgot until now. Oh, there's these enemies. Just be careful of them. They're not easily destroyed by your current weapons. I don't think. Let me just make sure. And it seems that so far only the power bomb can deal with them. But yeah, you go through here, and here's another super missile pack. Now, up here, you can get another energy tank. Use the grapple beam. Oh. Yeah, these will sink down, which I forgot to mention that some of these can sink down if you're standing on them, so be careful. Anyway, we got another energy tank. Alright, we go through here, and it takes us to the other side. And this is also pretty much another way into another location that we need to go to. Now, if we just came here with the Varia suit, we wouldn't be able to get up here, even if we tried. Now, here is pretty much a little maze-like area that'll get you to your next destination. Now, it's going to take some time for you to figure out where you need to go. If you have the X-ray visor, or X-ray scope, I should say, then it should be easier for you to at least locate it. Here's the door. Now we just need to open up this door with a power bomb. And here is another elevator shaft. Now this one doesn't take us back to Brinstar. Not like the one earlier when we came back through there. This leads us to the next area, as I'm sure you know, Meridia. The water area. And this is definitely one of my favorite areas of the game. I mainly like it because, you know, how it looks in the sandy area, and I love the music of it, at least in one portion, which I'm sure you'll obviously hear again pretty soon. Oh. Oh, careful with the quicksand. Most pits of quicksand, they will, like, you know, act as, like, you know, transitional areas. They'll take you to a different part of Meridia, like, just below you. But there will be some quicksand pits that will have spikes in them, so you better be careful. Alright, we can head down here. Now, if you saw that during the transition, it will be part of the area that we will be going through. Alright, we just gotta go this way. Now, I would go through the other way, but I'd rather just get another upgrade just so I can actually get there, because it will be a bit of a hassle just to get there without the space jump upgrade. Now this seems a little familiar. Now that we just have to go down here. Again, this is optional, but there is another map room where you can get the map for Meridia. Got a lot of ground to cover with this area. As you can see, there's the boss, and we got some places to explore. But if we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to go in through where we pretty much just shattered that tube glass when we after we got the power bombs. Whoa! You almost got me there, buddy. Alright. We're now here. And here we are. This here is the Rocky Meridia theme. And I absolutely love this part of the soundtrack. Like with the Red Brinstar, it's calm and serene with a bit of an alien world vibe. You guys are probably wondering what I'm doing right now. Well, there is a missile expansion that you can get here. Problem is that in order to get it, you need to use the speed booster. And to do that, we need to use the shine spark. So yeah, you're gonna have to time this just right. Not only that, but you need to place yourself in the proper place in order to do so. Right here. Here we go. So yeah, this takes a bit of timing and practice just to get this. And keep in mind, like I said before, the Shine Spark will drain your health in this game when you use it, so be careful about how you go about using the Shine Spark. Now there is a Super Missile Pack, which I'm pretty sure you'll have noticed, but we have no way of getting there in that room. But there is a way we can get it. It takes a bit of work to do so, but you gotta use your Morph Ball. You see this little bit of unnatural wall right here? That's the secret passage that'll take you to the super missiles. Like so. You. And here we go. Now there'll be a few expansions that I will likely be getting in here before I press on, so you'll have to bear with me. Pink! Oh yeah, and we also got these pink space pirates right here. Now unfortunately, our current beam weapon cannot do anything about it. Same can be said about our current weapons.
I am invincible! Invincible!
As you can pretty much see, nothing can actually damage him, except for, like, the speed booster and another beam weapon. Now here in this room... Oh jeez. You ride this turtle, and... Oh, I missed. Let's try that again. Here we go. Now, if we're gonna get this energy tank...
Hey, stupid!
Oh jeez, I messed up. Oh jeez. I'll probably cut out some of the fails I'd probably do, but I'll probably keep some... Never mind! Now there is another expansion here, this missile pack. Oh, come on. I don't want to rely on wall jumping, so this is going to take me a bit. Here we go. That's another missile pack. But yeah, like you saw here, the speed booster is the only thing that can damage it. At least until we can get another beam upgrade. Now again, I'm not going to be doing any speedrunning tactics, as I mentioned in the first part of this playthrough. If anything, I'm just going to play the game how I usually play it. Ooh, nice catch. Okay, here we go. Whoa! Okay, that was quite the leap. Alright. Alright, just head up here. Now, there are a couple of missile expansions in this portion that we can get. We just have to go through here. Ow! Dang it. Oh, I guess I just didn't need to freeze those enemies. Never mind. Now then, you may think this is a dead end, but if we use the X-ray scope, there's a passage. And it leads to a couple of new expansions. A super missile pack and a regular missile pack. Alright, now that we got those missile packs, we can head down here. Hey! Jerk. As I was saying, we head down here. There's a super missile door. Let's open this, and we head off to another part of Meridia. Now we use this power bomb here, and we gain access to here. Now there is a couple of expansions that we can get in here, but to do that, it requires the speed booster. Oop, I timed that poorly. Okay, Shine Spark up. Here's a missile pack here. Alright, and there is a super missile pack just a little further ahead. Now then, keep in mind, if you think that this is just a normal platform right here, well, if you step on it, crumble blocks. So it's best just to jump to avoid it so you can get this super missile. Now that that's out of the way... Oh, yeah, I have a habit of doing that. But again, I'm playing this how I want to play it. Alright, so swing across. Oh, and here we have the Metroids. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys will have seen something like this akin to that in the Metroid Prime 4 trailer. At least the very first trailer, where Silex has Metroid-like creatures as possession. It's surprising that he actually brought the Metroids back for this game. Like, they were poorly created clones of the Metroids, because they don't look entirely like Metroids. As you can tell by their appearance, regular Metroids had 3 regular nuclei, while the Metroids only have 1. Now here, we have our second mini-boss. Botwoon.
Hello there.
This little snake-like creature right here. Now, the best way to go about it is to shoot missiles or super missiles or charge beam shots at it. I believe it takes 10 super missiles to defeat it, which is pretty much the fastest way to beat it. But be careful, it will shoot out these little green orbs at you. And plus, each time it's damaged, it moves faster. Oh, but we don't get to see it though, since we quickly defeated it. Anyway, let's not dawdle and let's head off to fight our next boss. As you can see right there, there's an energy tank. But we gotta get across this quicksand. And the best way to do that is using the speed booster. To get there, we have to jump up here, but we also gotta be careful. Because one wrong move and we'll end up falling into the quicksand. Best way to combat this is using the X-ray scope. Now there's a pitfall right there. So you need to be careful if you want to get that energy tank. And that ought to do it. Here's more Metroids. Now I do believe that they can be destroyed with a grapple beam. Whoa. Okay, that was close. I honestly forgot that grapple beam can also open doors. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Metroids, they're gonna show up a lot in Meridia. But yeah, speedrunners tend to use the wall jump a lot when it comes to this room. Me, like I said, I prefer to play how I prefer to play it. Any way I want to. Like, there are many ways you can play this game. You want to play, like, you know, in a slow way, like, just take your time with the game, or if you want to get through the game as quick as possible. Or if you want to get, like, 100% items and such. I'm not really the type of person that always goes for 100% when it comes to video games, unless I feel like it. And I need to at least understand the layout. Anyway, we got another boss fight coming up next, so we better be ready. Alright, so before we do take on the next boss, there's something here. It's a missile pack. I'll grab that real quick. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll notice that those spikes are fake. They won't hurt you. Alright, so we head down here, and this leads us to another boss door. And here we have our next major boss, Dragon. Now Dragon, you can fight Dragon in one of two ways. You can use missiles on its belly to do damage, which is practically the slowest way to do it, or there is another way that you can do it, if you have the grapple beam, of course. But I'm pretty sure you'll have it by this point in the game. But yeah, you gotta watch out for Dragon's attacks. It will swoop down to try and attack you. Oh, geez.
Hey, stupid!
This is not the way I wanted to go, but yeah, it will grab you if you let those those clumps get you. So you gotta try and mash your way out of it if you're not trying to use the grapple beam to defeat the boss. Don't know why some of you do that, but it's perfectly fine. I mean, you fight it how you want to fight it. But yeah, for me personally, I want to at least use the grapple beam. It's one of the fastest ways to defeat the boss if you can catch it on an electrical current. But it will swing its tail at you at points, just to attack you. Here we go. Oh, and that timing right there. But yeah, that's the fastest way to defeat Dragon. Now keep in mind, if you have low energy, there is a chance you'll end up dying in this boss fight. But as long as you're careful, you should be fine. I made sure to at least have plenty of energy tanks. Anyway, now that we defeated Dragon, we get our next upgrade, and that upgrade makes the grappling beam moot, which is the space jump. Now timing the jumps with the space jump can be really tricky, but yeah, it makes the grappling beam obsolete at this point. I mean, the grappling beam can be used, well, somewhat obsolete is what I meant to say, because there will be points where you'll have to use the grappling beam just to get to different locations if you see crumbled grappling beam blocks where there are passages. So it isn't entirely obsolete, and we'll get to that shortly, just to show you guys what I mean. And we're back in this room now, but there is an upgrade that we can actually get here. Another optional upgrade, which is a beam upgrade, and this one will be really useful for tackling stronger enemies. And I'm pretty sure you already know what it is.
Later.
Yeah, this enemy is a bit annoying when you don't have the plasma beam, as you gotta keep shooting, but yeah. Whoa, we got more pink space pirates, and here it is, the plasma beam. This beam pierces right through enemies, making it one of the more stronger beam weapons. Combined with the wave beam, it's a pretty tough beam weapon, because it's pretty useful for causing more damage to enemies as well as being able to shoot through walls. However, in Metroid Prime, the plasma beam is used like a heat weapon. Same thing can be said with Prime 3. In fact, Prime 3 is the second 3D Metroid game to have a plasma beam. And like in Metroid Prime 1, it's pretty much a heat-themed beam. Alright, so enough about that. Let's move on. Alright, right through here is where we'll be able to get our next optional upgrade. Alright, so this is what we need the grappling beam for. Just going up. Oh, jeez. I forgot about those enemies. They're really annoying to deal with. And since I only have the space jump, this is gonna take me a while. Just bear with me. Whoa. Okay, at least it got up. This room. Just use a power bomb. Yeah, now we gotta wait for this enemy to... Well, I wouldn't say enemy, but I also wouldn't say ally, since you can easily take it out. But yeah, we gotta wait for this guy to claw its way right through those sand blocks in order for us to get to where we need to get our next upgrade. Or optional upgrade, I should say. Alright, that takes care of that. Hey, jerk. Alright, so we just head down here. And here we have the Spring Ball, the final Morph Ball upgrade of the game. The Spring Ball, as it implies, is that it allows you to jump while in Morph Ball mode. Now I think this is the only game in the series where the Spring Ball is a separate item from the high jump boots. In Metroid Fusion onwards, when you get the high jump boots, the Spring Ball comes with it, which I find to be rather unusual. But in the Prime games, if you have the Morph Ball, and if you're playing on the Wii or the Switch version of the original Metroid Prime, then you'll be able to actually do a Morph Ball jump without the need of a Spring Ball upgrade. It's a bit unusual, but this is the Metroid series. It always finds ways to work things in. Now that we have the spring mall in our possession, I think that might be it for all the optional upgrades. Now we just need to head back into Norfair so that we can confront Ridley. Alright, now let's head back to Norfair so we can get down to Ridley's lair. Alright, we're back in Norfair. Now I'm gonna be taking a bit of a faster way that'll get us to Ridley's lair.
Later.
And this way, it'll get us down to Ridley's lair a little faster in a sense. Okay, that wasn't intentional, but alright. Alright, so now that we have the gravity suit and the space jump, not only are we immune to fire, to lava, but we can now also gain access to Ridley's lair. Oh, jeez. Whoa, close one. Not this time. Alright, now we're heading into the jaws of the beast. Well, not literally. Well, sort of literally. I don't know. Anyway, let's head down to Ridley's lair. And it's definitely got one of the best music of the entire game. I honestly just love how this sounds. It just sounds so intimidating with the choir and the drum beats. Now we use a power bomb here, and here's a golden Torizo statue. Now then, with this one, unlike the one we saw in the wrecked ship, if we use our morph ball on it, it doesn't move us, but rather, it lowers the acid. Alright, let's head down. And then we make our way through here. Okay, now that we're here... Oh, and there's a missile pack. Now just keep in mind that the floor right there, those are crumble blocks. Now I didn't realize this until I landed on them too late when I was a kid. But yeah, plus it's the only way that you can get through here. So it looks like we gotta go down.
Hello there.
And we got a Torizo statue. Like the very first mini-boss, this one's gold. But yeah, like with the original Torizo statue, it can shoot those little orb things where you can shoot them to gain pickups. Now here's the thing about this boss. Using regular missiles, it will dodge them, unlike the original. But if you try to shoot a super missile at it, it will catch it, and it will toss it right back at you. I mean, you can shoot a second super missile to damage it, but you gotta be careful. The best thing to do against this one is to use your charge beam. But yeah, this one's a little tougher to beat. But yeah, this one's a little tougher to beat than the original one, but with a bit of work, you can take it out. And that should do it. Now, before we leave the room, there is actually one more thing. There is another another expansion right here. A super missile expansion. Now, I never noticed this at first when I was a kid, but I had seen something. I just didn't figure out what it was until I had a look. Yeah. Anyway, here is the last upgrade of the game. At least the last major one. The Screw Attack. With this, you can be able to do damage and break blocks, well, certain blocks, using the screw, by doing a spin jump, as you can see. But yeah, most enemies can be destroyed or damaged by the Screw Attack. But not bosses. Alright, so we gotta go through here as the acid's rising, so you gotta be quick. And time your space jump carefully. Now we got gold space pirates. Now gold space pirates aren't easy to defeat, but the best way to defeat them is to use the Screw Attack. Now here's another one where you have to get away from the rising acid, but you gotta go up. Thankfully the acid doesn't rise all the way to the top. Alright, so right here is where we need to go, but before we actually do, there's actually a couple of places I'd like to go first. Now, you can actually defeat this enemy with a super missile. You go through here, and there will be another expansion pack. Oh, now as I said before about these enemies, if you destroy them, the room gets a little darker, which makes it a little difficult to see if you're not careful. But yeah, here we have an energy tank. Now, as you can see right here, this wall, it's a fake. Or it's just in the foreground. Meaning that you can actually go through it, so you can get to another room. But yeah, we will come back to this room at a little later point, but here we get a missile expansion, but we're not done here yet. There is another expansion we can get. First, let's use a power bomb to make it easier. It's also advised you use the X-ray scope so you know where you're going. Now we go down this door, and we have a power bomb expansion, but how do we get there? Well, these things can be destroyed, and these are grumble blocks that are pretty much gone forever until you leave the room. And then they will return. Now, before we head down, there's actually another power bomb expansion I can use. Or collect, I should say. Anyway, here we go. That's another one. Oh, here we go. The Kung Fu Pirates. So yeah, you cannot damage them as they are, but when they are jumping in the air and they turn gold, that's when you can damage them. They will throw those claw things at you, so you better be careful, as well as they're doing their high jump kicks, and they kick you when you're close. They're not hard, they're just pretty quick. Alright, there it is, the boss door. Now here's one thing I like to do when I go in here. Use a power bomb. And there he is, Ridley.
Hello there.
So yeah, he's gonna be pretty much a simple fight, obviously, compared to some of the other bosses. However, his tail is completely immune to a lot of the attacks, so you gotta avoid the tail. At least hitting the tail. But yeah, he's gonna be a lot tougher than he was in the first fight, in the Ceres space station. But yeah, you can damage him in a few ways. Like, you can use charge beam, you can use missiles. Oh, and you can use super missiles as well. Now keep in mind, he does shoot fireball attacks as well as try and swipe you with his tail, but he will also try and grab you, so be careful. Oh, and he also bounces on his tail like a pogo stick. Oh yeah, this can pretty much happen, because Ridley ends up trying to take us with him. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, the baby Metroid isn't even there, despite defeating Ridley, as you can see. But we did get an energy tank out of it. So now that begs the question, where is the baby Metroid? The only likely guess is that he's in Torian. And since we defeated all 4 of the main bosses, we can now finally gain access to the final area of the game. Now then, you can actually try and go for, like, getting all the expansion upgrades. I mean, I don't usually go for 100% when it comes to Metroid games, because I'm not the best at getting 100%. Though there have been a few exceptions at the very least. But yeah, I'll probably try and get as much as I can before we decide to go to Torian, but we'll see. Alright, so as I mentioned before, we will be coming back through this way because we can head back to the main part of Norfolk through this direction. Just avoid the acid. Oh. Which is what I clearly didn't do. Even with the gravity suit, you're still affected by the acid, so be careful. And as you can tell, we're back in Upper Norfair. Now then, there are a few things that I'm gonna do before we consider heading to Torian. And there are some rooms that I could have gone to earlier, but didn't. Either I messed up on some parts, or just didn't consider it. it is, last energy tank. Now there are 2 more missile expansions that we can actually get on the way. Screw attack just makes things so much easier for me. Now then the trick is I try to get in the middle. And here we go. I think people have done this before, obviously. But it makes it easier just to get both missile expansions without having to do it all again. Alright, here we go. Let's wrap this up. We've beaten all 4 of the bosses. At least the major ones. So now we finally have access to Torian, the final area of the game. This is it. And down the statue sinks. And it opens the way to an elevator that'll take us down to Torian, the final area of the game. No turning back at this point. Yeah, this being only 2 parts is going to make it one of the more shorter Let's playthroughs, but again, I played so much of this game. Whoa, Metroids. Seems that Mother Brain was able to clone the baby Metroid so that it can create her own Metroid army. So yeah, obviously Metroids are completely weak to cold. Whoa. Almost have you there, buddy.
Get it off me!
Oh, jeez, get off. Get off. Jeez, that was annoying. Not again. Oh, come on, get off. Ay, that was annoying. Oh, and there's these blue side hoppers. Can't really do anything to them at the moment. But yeah, once we enter this door, no turning back. It will be locked. Ooh, a Torizo statue that's been turned into whatever happened. And it turned into sand. Alright, let's keep moving. This is not a good sign. Seems like more of these enemies have just become lifeless. Side hopper. What's that? Whoa, jeez.
Get it off me!
That's the Metroid. The Super Metroid. Uh-oh. Better run. Oh, too late. We're in trouble. Can't shake it off. I'm in trouble. Oh, jeez. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys already know that this is actually the baby Metroid that was supersized by Mother Brain. After hearing Samus's low health sound, it obviously recognizes Samus as its mother, and it flew away. Probably feeling the regret of attacking her like that, because it sees Samus as its mother. Anyway, we cannot really do anything at the moment. Well, if we did, we'd probably end up being killed. But yeah, since there was a recharge station, we can actually be able to restore our health. Now, I believe I did try out a glitch when it came to the energy tank recharge stations. Is that if you press the start button just as you're recharging your health, if you unpause it, you can move away and your health will still be recovered. But yeah, here's the boss door. Now, here is one of the poorest design choices when it comes to this part of the game. This here is obviously a save room. Now, why'd they put this here when the door to get out is locked? I have no idea. If you're planning to go for 100%, do not save in this save room. Because if you do, you have no way of getting back. So keep that in mind if you are going to try and go for 100% if you've come here already. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's go take on Mother Brain. We just gotta get through these things right here. These turrets and these hoop things, I'll have to put the name on screen because I cannot remember their names. These hoop things and these little turrets, they're gonna be a problem. Now here's Mother Brain. So we just gotta destroy that glass casing she's in. So yeah, let's just use super missiles and yeah, I think that's it. Or is it? If you played Super Metroid, then you know that this practically isn't it. but it seems like it at first. But no, we're not done yet. Because Mother Brain now has this dinosaur-like body now, since her last fight against Samus back in the original Metroid/Zero mission. So yeah, this is the final boss of the game, Mother Brain. So yeah, Mother Brain will use it to shoot out a bunch of attacks at you. Like these little bomb things, some energy rip beams. Mother Brain, it seems like no matter what you do, Mother Brain feels like she's invincible at this stage. Oh, and here it comes. Mother Brain's most powerful attack. A powerful ray beam. So yeah, we're in trouble here. So yeah, we're now in trouble. We're in trouble here now. One last blast and we're finished. Oh, here's the baby Metroid coming to save Samus. This ends up being one of the most heart-wrenching moments of the entire game for me. Because while I may not have understood it entirely, I could see how sad this moment was. At least what's coming up, of course. But yeah, the Mother Brain has been drained of its energy thanks to the Metroid. Because practically it saved its mother. Or at least who it sees as its mother. Now the Metroid is pretty much given the energy back. But Mother Brain isn't done yet. Mother Brain is still alive and is going to attack the Metroid now. Oh boy, this is not good. This is just the most heart-wrenching moment of the entire game for me. The baby Metroid sacrifices itself to protect Samus. And now Samus is given the Hyper Beam, the most powerful beam weapon in the game. And I'm pretty sure that she's no doubt angry that Mother Brain destroyed the last of the Metroids, especially the one that practically saw Samus as its mother. But yeah, with the Hyper Beam, we were able to defeat Mother Brain so quickly. And that pretty much means it's over. Mother Brain is defeated, but we still have one last thing to do. We have to escape before the planet blows up. The planet is now set for self-destruction with the demise of Mother Brain. So now we gotta escape. We have 3 minutes to escape or else it's game over. So yeah, let's just get ourselves out of here. Alright, it's time to get out of here. Oh, dang it. Yeah, I'm prone to making a mess of, timing things. Before we do actually leave, there's a detour I want to make. Yeah, Toons and Dakura. It's time for them to escape. Alright. Yeah, I wanted to make this detour real quick, because... well, obviously, I just wanted to save the animals, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. I mean, I never learned about this until, like, the day the internet became a bit more of a bigger deal. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get out of here. Oh, get in the ship, Samus! And with that, we finally wrapped up Super Metroid. Thank you. But yeah, that just about does it. Super Metroid's wrapped up. And of course, Planet Zebes, where Samus was practically called home, is now gone. Like so. It's over. Super Metroid's wrapped up once again. I lost count of how many times I've actually beaten this game. But I've honestly put so many hours into it, because it's definitely by far one of my all-time favorite video games. Two hours and 9 minutes, huh? Yeah, again, Super Metroid. This game was practically one of the few games that well, I've practically beaten through so many times. And again, it's one of my favorite games of all time, not just in the franchise, but as a whole. There was so much exploration. The game was a lot of fun to play, like the gameplay mechanics and everything, being able to finding all the bosses, seeing all sorts of different locations. The music was really chilling and amazing to listen to. And the lore, the lore of the series, it's just, there's just so much of it. But yeah, again, Super Metroid is by far my all-time favorite video game, alongside Sonic Adventure 2, Grandia, and Luigi's Mansion. These 4 games shaped me to who I am today, had it not been for them, because they're part of my childhood. Because if anything, Super Metroid was the first game I got because I was really young at the time, probably 4 or 5. I probably played Grandia probably when I was maybe like 10 or 11. Sonic Adventure 2, probably like 11 or 12. Same thing could be said about Luigi's Mansion, I don't know. Again, those games really shaped my childhood. And honestly, I cannot thank those games enough. But Super Metroid was the one that really kickstarted everything for me to be the gamer that I am today. And I look forward to when Metroid Prime 4 finally drops soon. It's been a long road, but we're finally reaching the end of the finish line to Metroid Prime 4's release. I can only hope that this game is a fantastic experience when it finally releases. It's just been one heck of an adventure for me when I played these games. And I'm really glad to actually play this game so many times. Even play it for you guys on the channel. Not just on Twitter. No, not Twitter. Twitch. But also YouTube as well. I never get tired of this game. But yeah, if you beat the game at a fast time, you'll be able to unlock, like, different endings for the game. Now, this was Samus long before she had her iconic Zero suit. But yeah, that pretty much does it. Super Metroid is done. Once again on the channel. 85% items, not bad. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for Super Metroid. It was just so nice to play this game again on the channel. But yeah, we'll wrap it up for today. As for my other video project, in regards to, like, you know, preparing for Metroid Prime 4, again, at this point, I'm really just not sure if I can get it done in time for Metroid Prime 4's release. Again, it's due to productivity, you know, blocking, everything, you know, that gets in the way. So I probably may have to change it up to something else, or just scrap it altogether. I'll let you guys know in the community post at some point. Again, I am sorry for those who are wanting to see me, wanting to get this project done, but it really depends if I'm feeling it. So I do apologize for that, if you were looking forward to it. But we'll wrap it up for today, so let's just end the video and call it for now. So this is Metro Gamer 21 signing out for now. I will catch you guys in the next video, and as I always say, you all keep on gaming, gamers. Bye.